I wanna be the very best that no movie ever was. Boom, 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 boom. To make the money is my test, but to entertain you is its cause. And they and they do have Pikachu singing that song in the movie. Detective Pikachu. Now, right from the get, with Detective Pikachu, I have heard that if you really are a fan of Pokemon, you will like this movie a lot. If you're not a fan of Pokemon, you might like this movie, but you might be out of the loop. Now, I speak from the perspective of someone who very much is a fan of Pokemon. And apparently a lot of the people in the crowd I went to see the movie with were fans of Pokemon as well, because I could hear them calling out the names of Pokemon. They were saying, "There's Mewtwo, oh, it's Mewtwo. Oh, look, there's Bulbasaur and Torterra, Snorlax." Like, so and normally I would get miffed about that, but for some reason, because it's the audience, because of this movie, that didn't bug me that much. I was actually just kind of happy to hear the excitement a lot of people still had for Pokemon. It's based off the game Detective Pikachu. Pikachu lost his memory. They gotta go find the case. Clearly has been changed a little bit, and you can pretty well see where it goes pretty early on. I mean, because they introduced the fact that Mewtwo's in the film literally from the opening scene. But they introduced that fact pretty early on. It's got some little twists and turns, but nothing you can't figure out. I will say, there was one thing that happened in the movie that involves a Ditto that, honestly, I should have seen coming, but I didn't. And then when they revealed the reveal with the Ditto, it was actually kind of nightmare cringy a little bit. So, yeah... the thing with the Ditto, everyone, and I mean, I see going, ah! It's like, oh god! That's nightmarish what you just did there. But the heart of the film is the relationship between Tim, I think the character's name is, and Pikachu. I've heard someone actually liken it to the Eddie Venom relationship in Venom. And that's not entirely inaccurate, because I did like this movie quite a bit. I didn't love it. It wasn't something that I need to own, or I need to buy to own, or anything like that. But as a Pokemon fan for many, many, many years, growing up with the show, with the games, and seeing a live-action interpretation of this world, yeah, I could say I definitely enjoyed this. And I think is one of the really big things, is that there's a lot of world building, at least in the Rhyme City that we see here. They give you the brief kind of synopsis of how the whole Pokemon thing works. They show how a Pokeball in this world it looks and exists and works. But it's the world they kind of have created that's more the interesting thing to me. You see Pokemon work together with people, they have jobs. You see Pokemon just in the wild, how that works. There's a interesting scene involving Torterras that's technically in the trailer, and it occurred to me pretty early on when we get the reveal of the Torterras. I'm like, for those of you who don't watch who don't know, Torterra is it's based off the legend of the turtle that holds the world on its back. It's a turtle Pokemon or it kind of looks like an Ankylosaurus that has like a bonsai garden, a little bit of land on its back. Well, there's a scene involving them that is quite like, oh shit, for anyone who wasn't really seeing it coming. And when the scene starts happening, I quickly realized that's what was happening. Because one of the characters makes a note saying, these Torterra are normal size. I don't get it. So I'm like, okay, we're going to see something bigger. And then when it happens, like, oh, this is happening. Well, shit. So there's definitely cool scenes. And at that point, and granted, that's near the last third of the film, that's really when it starts to pick up for kind of like an adventure, a little Pokemon adventure film. And yeah, that's cool. The detective stuff's fun too. It's not as prevalent as I would have thought, but it's still there throughout the movie. Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu was just classic, just not classic. Excuse me, kind of a natural choice. Sorry, I've got a little indigestion going on at the moment for some reason. I think I need to go home and just eat something because it's kind of my stomach's a little upset. If I'm going to be honest. Not like that time where I was literally felt like I was going to be physically ill. But it's just, I've got some internal problems going on. Nothing that gross, just my stomach's a little upset. So it's like I said, Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds was just the perfect, sarcastic but caring. There's a great scene with him, and I don't know the actor's name who plays Tim, where he's just like, I know one thing, if your dad was here, he would tell you how much he loves you, and he would hug you so hard your bones would pop. And it just adds a nice little scene. Ken Watanabe's in there. He's good for the few scenes he's in. And I think you just have him there more for weight. like credibility as an actor and the weight that his name carries. Bill Nighy's great. Specifically when the reveal of Bill Nighy is revealed. And it gets pretty fun. I will say I wasn't big on the female. Not that she wasn't a good actress or anything like that, but her introduction was honestly cringe. That was like, I know it's a kids film, but that's like Nickelodeon kids film. Like, wow, because she's a intern more than anything, but she's a reporter and she's trying to get a story, and she introduces herself in that light, just, up on stairs, the light background, and she, it's like, there's always a story. It's like, and I'm going to find that story, and I did it. Okay. Yeah, you're a bit irritating. She's not like that through the entire film, but yeah, she was a bit irritating. The effects work was good. Some of the Pokemon, I will say, did look a little better than others. Like, that Snorlax you see in the trailer sleeping in the street, we get, like, a few shots of it, but it looks good, but at the same time, I think the problem for me is some Pokemon translate better to this more live-action style, this more CGI style than others. Snorlax, I don't think, was one that translated as well as it did. I'm trying to think if there was a few other. I mean, they showed Pokemon, I think, from almost every generation. Yeah, they showed Pokemon from every generation. But they showed only a handful of them. I'm trying to think if there was, in fact, another Pokemon that stood out to me that just didn't look great. Mewtwo looked pretty good. The Greninja looked pretty good. Torteos actually looked really good. The Pidgeots, and they were Pidgeots, by the way, you could tell by the hair on their back of their head. Or the hair-like feathers on the back of their head. The Buffalo looks good. By the way, for those of you who don't watch Pokemon, these are all Pokemon, obviously. You see Dino in there. There's a lot of just the Charizard scene looked good. Okay, I'll say this. The Gengar looked weird. That Gengar you see fighting the Blastoise in the trailer and then in the movie. I guess I think that's another example of some Pokemon designs don't translate that well. Because Gengar is basically just, for those of you who don't know what Gengar is, it's a ghost type, so it's designed like a ghost, creepy. Purple, basically think of a purple oval, like an egg-shaped purple oval. Well, in the game he's round, so we'll say basically a round purple circle with two stubby little arms, two stubby little legs, spiky hair that look like ears and some spiky hair, and then just these menacing glowing eyes, and this big F-off smile, and just has this long tongue, Gengar. That's what a Gengar looks like. In cartoons, that's one thing. In the game, that's one thing. In a real-life scenario, that's another thing entirely. So maybe it translated well because it was a little creepy. It was a little creepy. The Gyarados was good looking too. Yeah, that was a weird sentence to say. The Mr. Mime looked good. So it's not that Pokemon didn't look good. It's just some designs don't translate well to the live action sense as others. Oh no, we didn't see any Dragon Pokemon. Not to the best of my knowledge. I didn't see any Dratini. I'm just quickly going off the top of my head because I can do that pretty quick. And taking out legendary Pokemon and save Mewtwo. Nope. I'm just going generation by generation in my head real quick. Nope. My. Nope. Didn't see anything. Didn't see a Dragon Pokemon. That's impressive. I will say, some of the designs of this world, too. There's a statue, and Bill Nighy is basically like this guy who built the city for Pokemon and people together to get along together. And he's got these two statues of, for those of you who know these Pokemon, Arceus, Palkia, and Dialga. And I'm like, oh no, that's practical. Those are actual statues in there. I'm like, that's cool. I'd want those statues. They're not huge either. I can fit one in my room. So yeah, they're pretty impressive. Overall, there were some jokes. There's a scene with a Lickitung that's hilarious. Just a Lickitung, for those of you who don't know, looks like basically a giant pink lizard with a giant ass tongue, and it licks someone. Just Lickitung. Is this someone's Lickitung? It's like, anyone? I will say another thing that didn't bother me for a little bit, but he completely acknowledged his faults as the character, was Tim's character. He was kind of just being a stick in the mud for no reason, because what it was is that he didn't want to live with his dad after his mom passed away, so he lived with his grandma. He didn't want to move, and his dad wanted to try to be a good father, but he couldn't, and he kind of ended up regretting himself for that, because his dad almost near died. Or may have died, may have not. He didn't get a chance to, apologize, and it turns out, that he, was going to apologize, so he didn't get a chance to reconcile. Yeah, it's a happy ending in the end. I won't say how, but it's a happy ending in the end. Ultimately, it is what it is. It's rectified pretty early in the film for me. Some of the action sequences with the Pokemon, the few that we get, there aren't actually a lot of Pokemon battles. Most of them are chase scenes or disaster scenes, like you see in the trailer with that giant earth lifting up. There's a fight scene involving Apoms, which are monkeys with a tail in their hand, which are pretty fun. Ultimately, though, yeah, I enjoyed myself with Detective Pikachu. As a Pokemon fan, I definitely had fun with it. Could have been maybe a little bit. I still wonder why Detective Pikachu, when you have a roster of stories from, oh god, over 30. Again, sorry, I think I've got a little heartburn going on. And again, I think it's just because I need to eat something. I had a little bit of food today, but I actually haven't eaten much today. I think that's really my biggest problem, and it's really making my stomach feel ugh. I digress. As a guy who's liked Pokemon so long, I would have liked him to see maybe tackle a story just about there's literally 7 generations, over 800 something Pokemon right now. Going on generation 8 comes Shield and Sword. Over 22 movies, I think, along those lines, animated movies. And Detective Pikachu was your first go-to? I know they're redoing Mewtwo Strikes Back in CGI, so I know, or Mewtwo Evolution. Basically the first movie. So that's coming up, but I don't know. Ultimately, though, yeah, I would say if you're a Pokemon fan, you'll definitely have a good time. If you're not, I can't speak for certain, obviously, because I only fit one of them. I don't fit both tropes, obviously, or both selected groups of people. I think it still would be a cute film. A lot of things are going to maybe go over non-Pokemon fans' heads, but I think it'd be a cute movie for kids. So I would definitely recommend it. Only got 5 trailers, probably because I walked in late. Still had trailers going, but Adam's Family, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I will say I agree with my girlfriend. I'm not a big fan of the art direction they're going with. Dog's Journey, I've said enough about that. I'm not even going to see that next week. I will subject myself to The Sun Is Also a Star, only because I think that movie is one of those bad movies that I can really get behind ranting about. So I'm kind of looking forward to just how bad this movie's going to be. But also John Wick comes out this week as well, so I'll be at John Wick first and foremost. My Spy with Dave Bautista, I'm waiting to see when the release date for that is, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And obviously Godzilla King of the Monsters, that was the last one we got, coming out within a few weeks. First reviews are actually quite good, so that's good to know. Okay. So yeah, that's all I have for yeah, man, I need food. Detective Pikachu. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't gotten to the who would win yet, but I will get to that. If nothing else, I'll just save it for tomorrow. So more than likely I'll probably get through it tonight. I was actually doing it today and then it got interrupted. So I'll just do it again later tonight. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. I'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything I can do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.